Dr. Scott, there's a section in your book where you talk about St. John's wort, a natural herbal supplement for depression, working as well as antidepressants, perhaps even better. And yet we always hear that medicinal herbs aren't as potent as drugs. So how does that square with?
Well, you have to remember that antidepressants do not cure depression. Let's start with that basic understanding.
You're firm on that, right?
Yes, there's nothing in an antidepressant. All it's supposed to do is raise serotonin levels. Yes. Remember that there's no relationship between serotonin level and depression. We know that from a host of studies. George Ashcroft was the first one to suggest that a lack of serotonin was the problem. He later said, nope, we've done the studies now, I was wrong. And so the basic idea behind antidepressants is false.
Okay.
And of course we can look at this in many different ways and prove that it's false in many different ways. Put it real simply. We know that young people have a lot more serotonin than do old people. If the theory were true, all old people would be depressed. They don't have much serotonin.
All right.
And no young people would be depressed. That's the fact. It doesn't match the theory. Don't throw out the facts. You have to discard the theory.
Okay.
So, okay. Now,
St. John's wort.
Let's talk about St. John's wort. St. John's wort has a real effect in terms of impacting depression. Now, question.
Yes.
How much of that is placebo? I suspect it is largely placebo. Again, you know, these studies have to be double-blind, placebo studies that have an active placebo. If you really want to know truth, and that's a difficult study to design, it can be done. And if we did one that had an active placebo compared to St. John's wort, I'm not sure how that's going to come out. But I can tell you that when we compare St. John's wort with antidepressants, St. John's wort does as well.
All right.
Sometimes even better than antidepressants. Now, the question is, what should you be on? If they did even just as well, never better, let's suppose that that was their end of the research, I would still argue for St. John's wort. For what reason?
Yes.
Because you don't have, to our knowledge, some of the very serious effects that come about as a result of antidepressants. We know with antidepressants you can have liver damage. We know that for a fact. We know you can have sexual dysfunction. We know it can affect weight. We know it can affect diabetes, 2 to 3 times. We know it can lead to tardive dyskinesia. There are just a host of problems associated with antidepressants that, to our knowledge, are not there for St. John's wort. Doesn't mean that we won't have some other concerns, that people are taking large amounts over a long period of years. But at this point, I think it's probably the safer way to go.
Thank you.